A clap of thunder. In the darkness, a young man holds a collection of ancient relics, sacred objects that have been guarded for over 50 years. In a single moment of rage, he hurls them into a raging fire. But what he doesn't know is that these objects were the only thing protecting his entire village from a curse that had waited centuries to return. In this village lives Chief Quaim, a wise 78-year-old man, the keeper of secrets. For half a century, he has meticulously guarded the ancient rituals and objects that kept his people safe. But his grandson, Kofi, educated in the city and filled with modern ideas, sees only superstition. Grandfather, he would often argue, these old ways are holding us back from progress. One fateful night, fueled by frustration, Kofi gathers the sacred objects. He builds a fire and, one by one, feeds them to the flames, whispering, "Let the old ways die." That very night, the first sign appears. The water in the village well turns pitch black, thick and undrinkable. Soon after, people start to fall ill, shivering with a strange and persistent fever. Chief Quaim feels it deep in his bones. The protective shield around their home is gone. Kofi, however, turns to his modern knowledge. He brings in antibiotics and doctors from the city, convinced it's a simple outbreak. But nothing works. The fever spreads like a shadow, and no medicine can touch it. Then, the crops begin to wither. It isn't a drought. The leaves just curl and die, as if poisoned by unseen force. Panic begins to creep into the hearts of the villagers. On the seventh day, the unthinkable happens. Kofi's younger sister, Amma, vanishes. She simply walks into the forest and doesn't come back. Search parties comb the woods, calling her name until their voices are raw and broken, but the forest just swallows their cries. It's then, standing at the edge of that silent, ominous forest, screaming his sister's name into the void, that Kofi finally understands. He realizes there are forces in this world that his modern education cannot explain, powers that demand a wisdom far older than himself. With tears streaming down his face, Kofi runs to Chief Quaim and falls to his knees. "Grandfather, I know what I did. I was a fool, please. Help me fix this." Chief Quaim looks at his grandson, not with anger, but with a deep, knowing sadness. He nods slowly. "There is one way," he says, his voice raspy. "But it will require both my old wisdom and your new knowledge." He leads Kofi to the smoldering ruins of the fire. Buried in the ash, he pulls out a single surviving object, an ancient drum, carved from the wood of the first baobab tree. "This drum holds the voice of our ancestors," the chief explains, "but its sound is too weak to reach the entire village alone." In that moment, Kofi understands. He pulls out his smartphone. As his grandfather begins to beat the drum, chanting the ancient words of protection and renewal, Kofi records the sound. Then, he connects his phone to a speaker and amplifies the chief's powerful voice, sending the sacred rhythm echoing across the entire village. Deep in the forest, Amma hears the sound. It's a call she recognizes in her soul. Guided by what feels like invisible hands, she walks out of the darkness and straight into the village square, completely unharmed. As she returns, the change is immediate. The fever breaks, the water in the well runs clear again. And in the fields, the withered crops begin to show new signs of life. The village wasn't saved by abandoning the old ways, but by bridging the gap between past and present. Later that night, under a sky full of stars, Chief Quaim puts a hand on Kofi's shoulder. "Wisdom is not about choosing between the past and the future," he says gently. "True wisdom is learning to walk with both feet, one planted firmly in our ancestors' soil, and the other stepping bravely toward tomorrow." From that day on, Kofi became the new keeper of secrets, honoring where he came from while embracing where he was going. If you enjoyed this tale, please like, share, and let us know in the comments what wisdom from your elders has protected you. Subscribe to Tales of Wisdom by Olemper for more stories that will change how you see the world.